wait. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. You go to her, you pick up the thing, and then you do the weekly mission. Yeah. The weekly, the transcendent. Yeah. Ah, yeah. Okay, hold on. Yeah, it's like, so if the new dungeon is part of Dreaming City, that mod will work in the dungeon. So you're gonna get more damage. You just gave me a clip to make today. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that Seasonal Wish is coming, and we know that it's going to take part in some Dreaming City. We're going to have, T-Rex dinosaur following us around. Maybe another egg will hatch, and we will have an Ahamkara. But what if the new dungeon takes place in part of the Dreaming City, or shares in the Dreaming City? Maybe it's a Shattered Throne 2.0. Maybe it's something different. Did you guys forget about Transcendent Blessing? So this mod is in the game right now. I actually had to regrind some and get 2 of them today. If you put this mod on any armor piece, it doesn't have to be Revelry armor. It doesn't have to be any armor that has anything to do with Dreaming City. As you see here, I put it on a piece of Artifice armor. Now, they changed this. If you want to know what Transcendent Blessing does, it gives you 5% more damage while in the Dreaming City. So if you're setting up for damage and you only wanted to run maybe 4, you could go stand in a well and get ready for the new dungeon and have 20% more damage while standing in a well in this new dungeon. This mod is probably going to help people that are speedrunners or low manners, or people that want solo flawlesses, or people that just have these mods laying around that want this extra damage. I do want to point out, if you have the old Transcendent Blessing mods, the old ones, if you slot this on an armor piece and you do delete the armor, you will not get it back. You have to look at the new 2.0 version in your mods. I'll show a picture on the screen here. It says if it's slotted on the armor, it will be refunded when you delete it. But you need to have the newer mod. If you have the old ones that were just in your inventory from years ago, you will lose it. So I just want to point that out. We all know what happened when Ghosts of the Deep came out. Everyone struggled with damage phases. They were like 6 or 7 damage phases are not fun, and they weren't. And that's simply because the dungeon boss, the final boss, is power level 1810. The way that Destiny 2 PvE works, usually you want to be at 20 power levels above the activity you're doing to do the max amount of DPS. Any power level over the 20 delta will give you 1% damage taken, 1% damage given. So if you have these mods in your inventory right now, you could save a loadout and swap these around and put on a full set of Transcendent Blessing going into damage and do 25% more damage. So when I'm standing in the Dreaming City here, I'm inside the Shattered Throne. I do not have the mod on, and I'm just showing base damage here with weapon damage. When I put on the mod, I get 5% because I only have 1 on. Remember, you can put this on all 5, but I only have 1 mod at a time. This stacks with surges as well. I did a clip here where I actually put on the leg surge, solar surge, to buff my solar machine gun to shoot, to show you that not only does Transcendent Blessing work with surges, it stacks with everything else. So this could be really huge. So Aiden was in chat today and he reminded me about the Transcendent Blessing mod, and I said, oh man, you're right. You are totally right. We need to get that mod. And I started panicking. I'm like, I don't know how to get it. With someone like me, I looked and I was like, I only have 1 Transcendent Blessing on my Warlock. How do I get more? Well, if you head to Dreaming City and you go to Petra, she has a weekly bounty called Gateway Between Worlds. It's the blind well one. When you complete that bounty, you get a Oracle offering. Let's just say you have none of that. You can go complete that bounty right now, pick it up on all characters, and hand them in at the Oracle offering, where you meet Gamara Sov, and you will offer the offering you get from the bounty. I got lucky today, and I popped that bounty on all 3 characters, and I ended up getting 2 of the bounties that I needed. You need to get this ritual bounty. You need to get this. This is the only way to get Transcendent Blessing. I got lucky. My first bounty said, hey, go do a corrupted strike while ascendant. I got lucky. So I went and did that, finished it, popped the bounty, got Transcendent Blessing. The second time, it asked me to go do the Ascendant Challenge while Ascendant and kill 4 bosses. So I killed 2, died, and then reran it. I got lucky. Some of it requires you to run a full armor set. You could get unlucky. But let's just say you do what I did and you just get 1 mod this week. Well, tomorrow's reset, or the final week of the season, is a new weekly reset, and you'll be able to run 3 more. And then, so on and so forth each week. We don't know if this is going to work. It could be straight copium. We don't know if the dungeon's going to have anything to do with Dreaming City. But if it is, we're talking huge damage increases for your teammates. Okay. I also want to point out that you need to pop tinctures for Ascendants if you're wondering how to become Ascendant. I have a clip here that I want to show you what I did in Dim. Chat reminded me. So if you take that mod off, if you're able to hover over your armor piece, I put the Transcendent Blessing on my Hunter's Cloak. But I went into Dim here and I made sure that that armor piece was not associated with any loadouts, because what happens when you change loadouts? Dim will change your mods. If you change the mod on that armor, it will lose the mod forever. We don't want that to happen. So I simply went into Dim, I clicked on the item, it told me that it was in a few of the loadouts, and I went onto it and just exited the cloak out to make sure the Dim or the game in my loadouts will never switch that armor piece off. You do not want to lose this armor piece. My plan with these mods are I have one for the Hunter right now, one for my Warlock, and I have one that I didn't slot yet. So my plan is at reset, try and get more and put them on my Hunter or put them on my Titan, whatever I wanted to do more damage on for DPS. And hopefully this works for a solo flawless run, or helping you get like that more damage or DPS that you might be lacking, because if you're not bounty prepping or constantly doing XP grinds for the first 3 days of the season, or sitting in King's Fall AFK, damage will be tight if they fall Ghost of the Deep DPS. You know, that damage was 6 phases, and then it went down to 5, and then it went down to 4, and now it's, you know, it's still the 2 phase. But I remember the first week of Ghost of the Deep being out, like to 4 phase Ektar, you had to cook, and then the 4 phase, the final boss, you had to cook, and it was simply because of artifact power. So putting this mod on, Transcendent Blessing, is definitely going to help you and your team out if this works. Again, we're just going off assumptions here, but there's 1 week left in the season. We're getting excited. We're starting to see leaks of photos. I got baited by that stupid Valorant photo. But anyways, we know that the season has something to do with the final wish. So maybe the dungeon is located in the Dreaming City. Hopefully it is, and we get this extra damage. But if not, oh well, you might have learned something new. And while you're prepping for all this, if it works, remember that Taken Spec is actually stronger than Boss Spec. So if it is taking enemies in the dungeon and it's a Taken boss, again, we're just going off assumption here. Boss Spec is only 7.77%. And Taken Spec is actually 10%. As you see right here, Taken Spec is 10%. I thought this was very important, and I wanted to bring it up and make it a video on it, just because I don't want anyone to struggle on the new dungeon. When it comes out, I want you to be able to be ready for it, have DPS ready, have loadouts, cook this boss, have fun, and regrind it for new armor, new gear, and maybe even some of that artifice armor. If you made it to the end of the video, it's not even in the Dreaming City. Well, Clyde was wrong then, and I just wanted to have you come watch some views, because that's what we do around here. We bait people to view. Just like you're not clicking the sub button, please do that. I'll see you guys next time. The reason why this conversation came up, chat, dungeon weapons right here, ladies and gentlemen. This was posted on Twitter, that these weapons might be coming from the dungeon, or that's from Valorant. It's a Valorant bundle. Salt said it was dungeon weapons. I got baited too. Got it. Okay. Oh, you have the daggers. Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay. I see it now. Got that.